Welcome to the Explainer. Look, if you manage schedules, timelines, or resources, you already know Microsoft Project is an absolute powerhouse. But, it's also famously unforgiving if you don't get the foundations exactly right. Today, we're mastering the literal bedrock of your schedule, the project calendar. We're going to walk step by step through building a flawless custom calendar, and more importantly, I'm going to show you how to dodge those hidden software trapdoors that catch out even the most seasoned project managers. Let's get into it.
So, do you know the absolute most common mistake people make when setting up an NS project calendar? Well, spoiler alert, it is not about messing up task dependencies or misallocating a resource. The biggest disasters happen right here, hidden in the back-end calendar settings. Literally, just a single misaligned setting in your work week can completely sabotage your automated schedules, wreck your duration estimates, and just totally derail your budget calculations. In this explainer, we're going to expose those pitfalls so your schedule is completely bulletproof right from day one.
Okay, let's dive into this. We've got a 5-step blueprint today. Accessing project working time, copying the standard calendar, defining the work week, updating critical project options, and finally, scheduling repeating holidays. Here's our high-level roadmap. Notice the logical flow here. We aren't just opening a calendar and blindly typing in dates. We have to nail down the base settings, move very intentionally into calendar creation, and then lock the whole thing down with global options. If you try to skip around, the software logic just falls apart. Right, let's hit step 1. Step 1. Accessing project working time. So when you fire up MS Project and realize you need to define your working days, where exactly do you go? The ribbon has File, Task, Resource, Report, Project, View. It is super tempting to just jump straight to Task or Resource, but don't do it. You must navigate specifically to the Project menu. Not Task, not Resource. Why? Because right now we are building a master calendar for the entire global project, not just one activity or one single person on your team. By clicking the Project menu, you get the tools for the whole project scope. From there, you just hit Change Working Time right on the toolbar.
Moving right along to step 2, copying the standard calendar.
Okay, once you click Change Working Time, a window pops up showing the default calendars, usually 24 hours, night shift, and standard. Now brace yourself because this is our first major trapdoor. The golden rule here is never, ever change these default calendars. The standard calendar assumes a Monday to Friday work week, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. with a 1-hour lunch break. If your project is, say, a construction job running Monday through Saturday, do not just overwrite that default standard calendar. Instead, you want to click Create New Calendar and make absolutely sure you select Make a Copy from Standard. Now that you've got that copy, you've got to name it. And please, don't just call it Calendar 2. Name it logically based on what it actually does. For example, some folks might use RoadCal for a road construction project. But an even better, way more logical naming convention is 6x9 Workweek Cal, right? Just by glancing at that name, you instantly know this calendar runs 6 days a week, 9 hours a day. It keeps your database squeaky clean and it's crystal clear for anyone else who might open your file.
Next up, step 3, defining the work week.
All right, with our safely named copy ready to go, we need to customize our actual working days. In the calendar window, find the tab called Work Week. Click it, and then hit the Details button right next to it. This is where we tell the software exactly which days our boots are on the ground. You'll see the days of the week listed. Now watch out here. If you just click Monday and change the hours, it literally only changes Monday. To set up a 6-day week the smart way, hold down the Shift key on your keyboard, click Monday, and then click Saturday. Boom, all 6 days highlighted at once. Just be super careful not to select Sunday, assuming Sunday is your designated day off. With your days highlighted, choose the third option down. Set days to these specific working times. And man, here's where we hit a massive trapdoor regarding lunch breaks. You see, in MS Project's logic, a defined lunch break is a hard, non-working period. That means no time, no resource effort, and absolutely zero cost is calculated during that gap. Let me explain why that's a problem. The default setup uses 2 rows, Shift 1 from 8 a.m. to 12 noon and Shift 2 from 13 to 1700. That represents an unpaid 1-hour gap. But think about real-world site work. If your crew is on site from 8 a.m. to 1700 and you are paying them for a full 9-hour day, even if they take 45 minutes to eat a sandwich, entering a software break will totally wreck your cost calculations. To fix this, just select that second row, hit Delete, and change the first row to be a single continuous shift from 8 a.m. to 1700. That way it accounts for all 9 billable hours perfectly.
Step 4. Updating critical project options.
Now, I really want you to slow down and focus with me here.
You can do everything we just talked about perfectly, but if you skip this next step, your entire schedule and effort math will still crash and burn. This is hands down the most critical trapdoor in this whole explainer. You just built a beautiful 6-day, 9-hour calendar, but Microsoft Project's global engine doesn't automatically know you did that. To sync them up, you have to click the Options button right down at the bottom of the calendar window. This opens up your global project options. Head over to the Schedule tab. First things first, verify that your default start time and end time actually match your new calendar. So for us, that's 8 o'clock and 17 o'clock.
So the crucial point is the number 54. See, by default, MS Project just assumes an 8-hour day and a 40-hour work week. If you don't manually change this global setting, the software is going to calculate your 9-hour days against a 40-hour expectation, and your timelines will literally fracture. You have to do the math yourself. 9 hours a day times 6 days a week equals 54 hours per week. Go ahead and update that hours per week field to 54.
And right beneath that is another magic number, days per month. The default sits at 20, which assumes a standard 5-day work week. But since we're working Saturdays, we actually have an average of 26 working days per month. Update days per month to 26. Seriously, if these numbers in the global schedule options don't perfectly match the math of the custom calendar you just built, every single duration and effort calculation the software does for you is going to be fundamentally broken.
And finally, step 5, scheduling repeating holidays. Let's look at how this builds out our complete timeline. We've got our standard work week locked in, but real life happens, right? Things like public holidays. We handle these back in the Change Working Time window, but this time over on the Exceptions tab. To log a holiday, you scroll to the date on the calendar, let's say December 25th. Select it and type Christmas in the Exceptions tab. But look, instead of doing this manually for every single year of a multi-year project, just select that exception row and click Details. From there, set the recurrence to yearly, and set the occurrences to match your project's timeline, like 3 years. MS Project will now automatically block out December 25th for the next 3 years. Talk about a time saver. But hold on, there is a really important limitation you need to know about here. You can only use that automated yearly recurrence for exact date public holidays, like December 25th or January 26th. For festival holidays or lunar events where the date jumps around from year to year, the software can't reliably guess when those are going to happen. For those shifting holidays, you've got no choice but to go into the calendar and mark them manually for each specific year of your timeline. Well, there you have it. We've navigated the hidden trapdoors, mastered the shift key shortcuts, bypassed the lunch break disaster, and locked in that absolutely critical global sync. Which leaves me with one final, very important question for you. If you were to open up your current active MS Project file right this second, are your global project options actually perfectly synced with your custom calendar's math? I highly encourage you to open up your software today, check those settings, and make sure your foundation is as rock solid as it needs to be. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer.
If you want to master Microsoft Project with practical construction examples, join the online professional certificate course of Onyx. Learn from industry experts and build job-ready planning skills. Limited seats available. Join now.